Hi guys, Martin here, coming to you with build update number 2 for the Revell 132nd Arado AR196A-3 Seaplane, kit number 04688. Okay, so on the last build update number 1, I'd put a black base coat on all the interior parts, engine parts, cockpit, etc. and fuselage halves. I'd built up the wings and the floats, the horizontal stabilizers, the bombs and the base, just to get some sprues down, because 14 sprues is a lot and I want to get rid of some of the plastic. So what have I done since then? So what I did, I built up the cockpit assembly, put it inside the framework, put it on the floor, put it within the framework, put the front engine bulkhead on with the oil tank and the air filter and air cooler box. I built up the propeller, I painted that, I built up the engine assembly and painted that, and then I gave it a clear coat. Then I gave it a wash, and that's as far as I've got. Oh, I also painted the base black, and I'm going to give that a satin clear finish. And I painted the bombs, so let's show you. We'll start with the cockpit assembly. I did show a sneak preview of this on the International Scale Modelers Forum on Facebook. So there's the assembly of the cockpit with all the internal framework. That's all built up. And she's been clear coated and washed. And then I built up the gun assembly, the rear gunner's gun assembly. I can just temporarily locate that. I'm not going to put that in permanently until I've sprayed all the outside, and because I don't want to break it during that process, but you kind of get an idea there with the gun in place what it will look like. You can see the chute for catching the spent cartridges. But I'll leave some stills as I do at the end of this video so you can see what it looks like. Here's the propeller assembly. What I did was sprayed it silver and let that dry, and then I painted the red. All of the nose cone was painted red, and then I used Freddy's trick, Fernando Duarte. I used the cap off a bottle, put some blue tack inside, stuck it on the end, positioned it to the depth I wanted, and then I airbrushed the Schwarzgrün. It gives a nice demarcation. So that's propeller painted. So I can chip that. There's an area where some of the top paint came off and you can see the silver. So I'll just scratch where I want some chipping and give it a clear coat to finish it off. Here's the engine assembly. It's a nice little BMW decal that you get there to put on top of the spindle housing, and you got all the water cooling tubes. I painted them copper and then on the back here, these are your exhausts, the rusty looking colour ones, and then the silver ones, the aluminum ones, are your air inlets into the cylinder, and then that's the air coming out, the exhausted air. So what I did, I painted the inlet areas blue and red for the exhaust, symbolic of good air going into the lungs is red, and bad air coming out is blue. So that's it, that's the engine assembly. It's a nicely detailed engine, I like it. So if I put the propeller on there temporarily, just push that on, get an idea what that's going to look like. That rotates. That's that. So I gave the fuselage halves a wash. They've been washed, and all the engine cowling pieces were clear coated and given a wash. That's on all of those. The rest are still on the sprues, so they've all been washed. More engine cowlings here. These are front and rear assemblies that are going to go around the engine. That's going to be my next job, to start assembling the bodywork. Put the fuselage halves around the engine and cockpit assembler. They're the bombs. Little Schwarzgrün. So yeah, what I'll do next is on to assembly, as I say. There's only one there. Whoop. And back to front, duh. So there you go, you can see an idea what that'll look like with the two fuselage halves together. And then the starboard wing will be in the solid position, open, and my port side will be folded back. It's going to be like that, pushed in there and folded back. So what I'll do when I've assembled all the cockpit, the fuselage, I'll put these wings on because they're permanently going to stay like that, and I'll prime everything separately. I'll prime the floats separately, I'll prime the struts for the floats to the body, and then I'll paint them, and then this will be assembled as one of the final assembly parts, because I don't want to try paint. I've seen videos where people assemble it completely and then paint it, and you know, it just looks difficult trying to get down there with paint. I'm not going to attempt that. I'm going to build them up as separate painted assemblies and then do a final assembly. And there's the base. That's going to be given a satin coat just to give it a nice sheen. So that's it, guys. That's as far as I've got. So it's on to some assembly work, which I'm looking forward to, because then it will start looking like a plane. And I'm looking forward to seeing that come together, and I can't wait to get some primer on it. So next step, lads, I'll show you it when it's assembled, primed and pre-shaded, all the different assemblies, final assemblies, and I am going to put airbrush silver on the floats and on the struts, and I'll be putting silver along the leading edges, front edges of the plane, and down the sides, because I'm going to do some chipping, because on the ocean those floats are going to get some erosion off the waves as a salt water, bit of battering. So I'm going to give it some chipping. Alright, that's it from me. Oh, before I go, saw this in my local grocery store. Pledge floor care, shine, protect, restore, finish, 2 times more shine. On the inside it says long lasting shine and acrylic protection, so I'm assuming that's the right stuff. That was $5.99 for my small 23mm bottles of Model Masters clear coats. They're $5.79, so for 20 cents more I've got a big bottle of 27 fluid ounces, which is 799 millilitres. That should keep me going for a long time. Alright guys, that's it. I'm waffling on too much. Let's get on to the slideshow so you can see some close-up pictures of this lot. And I'll see you in a few days, maybe more, with the next update. Thanks for watching guys. Thanks for all the comments on the first update. Really appreciate it. And I'm out of here. Tally-o, chocks away.